There is a moment in attraction that most men never recognize, but it's the moment that determines everything. It's when a woman wants you but cannot explain why. Not to her friends, not to herself, not even to you. She just knows that something about you pulls her in, settles her, excites her, or makes her feel different in a way that bypasses logic. And that moment matters more than chemistry, compatibility, or effort combined. Because the strongest attraction does not come from reasons. It comes from reactions. The moment she can't explain why she wants you is the moment attraction has moved out of the rational mind and into the nervous system. And once attraction lives there, it doesn't respond to arguments, comparisons, or better options the way logic-based attraction does. Most men believe attraction is a checklist: shared values, good communication, emotional availability, stability, confidence. And while those things matter for relationships, they are not what create desire. Desire forms before language, before analysis, before conscious choice. A woman doesn't feel drawn to you because she decided you're a good option. She feels drawn to you because her body responds to you in a way it doesn't fully understand. Her breathing changes, her attention narrows, her emotional state shifts. And when she tries to explain it, the explanation always sounds weak. I don't know. He just feels different. That sentence is the clearest signal you can get that attraction is operating below awareness. This is why men who try to be logical about attraction almost always lose. They argue their value, they explain their intentions, they highlight their effort. They try to make sense where sense isn't what's driving the connection. And the more they push logic, the more attraction drains away. Because attraction that needs justification is already dying. Real attraction doesn't defend itself. It doesn't debate. It simply pulls. When a woman can't explain why she wants you, it means you're triggering emotional and physiological responses that bypass her internal filters, her standards, her expectations, her usual type, her past rules. She may even be confused by it. She may tell herself you're not what she's looking for. She may try to talk herself out of it, but the pull remains. And the reason this matters is because attraction that survives internal resistance is far stronger than attraction that depends on approval. If she chose you logically, she can unchoose you logically. If she wants you somatically, emotionally, instinctively, walking away feels like going against her own body. This is why women sometimes leave men who look perfect on paper and chase men they can't justify. The mind wants one thing, the nervous system wants another, and the nervous system usually wins. It always gravitates toward what creates emotional coherence, what regulates it, what excites it without overwhelming it, what feels alive but safe at the same time. When you become that experience, explanation becomes unnecessary. The mistake most men make is trying to be understandable, predictable, clear. They overshare, they overdefine the connection. They want certainty, they want clarity, they want labels. But mystery is not about being confusing. It's about not collapsing emotional space too quickly. Attraction needs room to breathe. It needs unanswered questions, not about your intentions, but about your inner world. When a woman feels like she has fully mapped you emotionally, desire flattens. When there's depth she can feel but not fully access, attraction stays active. This is where emotional containment matters. A man who doesn't leak his internal state constantly creates curiosity without trying. He doesn't narrate every feeling. He doesn't explain every thought. He doesn't seek validation for his emotions. That doesn't make him distant. It makes him grounded. And grounded men create a sense of gravity. You feel them before you understand them. And what you feel but can't name tends to linger. When a woman can't explain why she wants you, it's because you're not creating attraction through performance. You're creating it through presence. Your reactions are measured. Your attention is selective. Your emotional state doesn't swing based on her behavior. That stability gives her nervous system something rare. A reference point. A place where emotions don't escalate or collapse. And that regulation creates trust before trust is consciously formed. This also explains why attraction often dies the moment a man starts chasing explanation. When he asks, "Why do you like me? What do you see in me? Where is this going?" he forces her to move attraction out of her body and into her mind. And once attraction is forced into language too early, it weakens. Because language simplifies what was complex. It boxes what was fluid. It turns feeling into evaluation. And evaluation kills desire. Women don't fall for men who make sense. They fall for men who feel right. And feels right is not a compliment you can engineer. It emerges when your behavior, boundaries, presence, and emotional regulation align naturally. When who you are doesn't shift based on outcomes, When sex doesn't change you, when attention doesn't inflate you, when distance doesn't destabilize you, that consistency creates an emotional rhythm her body syncs with, and once synced, separation feels wrong even if she can't articulate why. This is also why trying to explain yourself too much after conflict damages attraction. When tension arises, many men rush to clarify, justify, or fix. They think resolution creates closeness, but often, resolution removes polarity. It drains emotional charge. A grounded man doesn't avoid communication, but he doesn't chase emotional closure either. He allows tension to exist without panicking, and that ability to remain steady while emotions are unresolved is deeply attractive. It signals strength at the nervous system level. Another truth most men miss is this: attraction that can't be explained is harder to replace. If she leaves you because she logically chose someone else, she can logically justify staying gone, but if she leaves you while still feeling the pull she can't name, the separation feels incomplete. Something remains unresolved inside her, and unresolved emotional experiences are magnetic. They draw attention back, not always behaviorally, but internally. She thinks about you at unexpected moments. She compares others without meaning to. She feels a lack she can't describe. This is why absence works differently when attraction was preverbal. Silence becomes loud. Distance becomes felt. Other men feel flat by comparison, not because they're worse, but because they don't trigger the same internal response. You weren't chosen for traits. You were chosen for impact. And impact lingers. Men often ask how to become that man. The answer disappoints them. You don't do more. You don't say more. You don't try harder. You regulate yourself. You stop seeking emotional permission. You stop needing outcomes to validate you. You stop collapsing your boundaries to maintain interest. You become internally consistent. And consistency at the core creates unpredictability at the surface. Not games. Depth. The man who knows who he is doesn't rush to be understood. He allows understanding to unfold. He doesn't force intimacy. He allows it to emerge. He doesn't chase reassurance. He trusts his presence. That trust transmits. And when it does, attraction stops being something she analyzes and starts being something she experiences. This is why explanation is the enemy of desire. When used too early, desire wants space. It wants contrast. It wants polarity. It wants emotional texture. When you flatten everything into clarity and certainty, you remove the very conditions that allowed attraction to form. Mystery isn't deception. It's restraint. It's letting the connection develop at the pace her nervous system sets, not her anxious mind. When a woman can't explain why she wants you, it matters because it means attraction is no longer fragile. It's no longer dependent on your performance, consistency, or effort. It's embedded. And embedded attraction doesn't need constant maintenance. It survives silence. It survives distance. It even survives doubt. Because it isn't upheld by thought, it's upheld by feeling. And the irony is this: the men who generate this kind of attraction are rarely they're not optimizing dating strategies. They're not calibrating responses. They're simply not abandoning themselves to manage reactions. And that's self-respect. That internal alignment is felt immediately, even if it can't be explained. So if you want to matter in a way that lasts, stop trying to make sense. Stop trying to be chosen. Stop trying to be understood. Be grounded. Be present. Be emotionally coherent. Let attraction form where it actually lives. Below language. Below logic. Below control. Because the moment a woman can't explain why she wants you is the moment you stop being evaluated like an option and start being experienced like a force.